left atrium. Its proper name is it's a left auricular appendage, but all y'all have to know is it's part of the atrium. This is not the whole atrium. Everybody does understand that, right?
Right.
This is just part of the atrium. Okay. And I don't even have to show you, but if I'm back here on the back, and how I know this is the back of the heart?
It's messy.
Intraventricular groove.
Well, that's the third reason, okay? What are the other two more valid reasons?
Yeah, no intraventricular groove.
In the
And
veins.
pulmonary, and lazy pulmonary artery laying on the front. So we don't see either one of those, so we know we're looking at posterior, okay? And if I see something down here that's real messy, according to some people,
Inferior.
then that'd be the inferior vena cava. And what he'll do, if he asks that, he doesn't ask that too much because it's kind of tough for people. And it's really, if you've studied it, it's not a hard test. A lot of people are going to fail it though. But when he puts a probe in something like that, okay, pay attention to what direction he's making it go, because sometimes these things get squished real funny, okay? And the vessel may look like it's behind the left heart over here, okay? But watch and see where it's going, because if he wants to know inferior vena cava, that probe, no matter where it goes in, it's going to be pointed toward what side of the heart?
The right side.
The right side of the heart. So kind of pay attention if he puts a probe in there, kind of see which way it's going, because he's kind of giving you a hint as to where that vessel's going. If you don't already know it, you can kind of reason things out like that.
Can you see the pulmonary vein?
And this one, you can see where they went in. What happens is those pulmonary veins they're usually eventually 4 big branches. They kind of hit all at once like that, right on the posterior wall. And so this is like a lot of them right here. It winds up just being a common hole because they cut them off so close. So what am I looking inside of right now?
Left.
It's left atrium.
Left atrium.
Left atrium.
Oh, the vein, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's the return from the lungs, right? Good. And this proves, too, that the auricular appendage here, and these things do expand when the heart fills with blood. These are so rigid, the real heart's more pliable than that, okay? But this just proves that the atrium really is just bigger than just this. I want y'all to understand.
Could he have that, like, a pin stuck in that and say, what chamber is this?
He won't ask it like that. That would be.
They don't try to trick us.
He'll ask it even easier than that if he wants to know. Yeah, it'll be. If he wants to know atrium, he'll do it something like this. He'll say, "What is this?" He'll probably even say, "What chamber is it?" And you know what is this and why. How do you know for sure?
It's above the tricuspid valve.
That's the main thing. It's superior is the fancy word for that. If it's superior to the valve, and here's the valve. What's the name of the valve?
Tricuspid.
Tricuspid and right. They both have an R, right? So we know that it's a chamber. It's obviously a chamber. It's obviously on the right side because he's only going to when he puts a half a heart down there, this will always be the right side. This will always be the left side. He won't fool you and do that. So we know we're on the right side. We know that it's superior to the valve, so it's got to be the atrium. All right.
So would he say chamber so we don't say?
He may say, sometimes he'll say, no. He may say, what is this structure? Usually he'll say even chamber, but if he doesn't, if he just said...
Would he say layer for the layer?
Yeah, he will say layer if he wants to know endocardium. Okay. That he will do for sure. Or if he doesn't and I haven't caught it and changed it on your test, that's a valid reason for you to raise your hand and let me look at it. But he won't try to fool you. Okay. But again, and I've been through this with a lot of y'all before, but let's play the game one more time. If I put a pin here, what layer is this?
Myocardium.
What structure is this?
Intraventricular septum.
Good. That's real important.
The
to
layer is the
understand.
myocardium, but the structure is the
Yeah, and so therefore you got to read that card. Read the question, okay? Similarly, y'all played this game with me, some of you before too. If I put my pin right here,
The papillary muscle.
what layer is this? Wrong.
Endocardium.
What
Endocardium.
structure is it? Yeah, but you answered it. See, that's what I'm
Oh, we
afraid
didn't
of.
ask him.
Just
We
look
just
at-
said.
People will go up there and just say, boom, there's the answer, and they don't read the question. You got to read the question, okay?
That's what I keep telling my grandson. You've
Yeah.
got to read your directions.
Well, he's only 2. Give him a break. So, what is this structure?
Papillary muscle.
What is this layer?
Endocardium.
What is this chamber?
The left ventricle.
So I don't even have to move my pen, right? So read the
Left
question.
ventricle.
Okay.
Read the question. I haven't forgotten you. Or have you already found out what you want to know? Okay. All right. So what is this right here?
Chordated tendon,
And it's always attached to what?
the valve,
The
and the
posterior
papillary
valve
muscle.
and-
Always to an atrioventricular valve. So that gives me two choices. It could be the tricuspid or bicuspid, but because of its location, these are connected to what?
The mitral or bicuspid.
Yes, the mitral.
Everybody agree with that? Okay. So what chamber is this, even though I've got the heart open?
The left atrium.
Left atrium, okay. What is this? You all knew it was coming. What is this?
Aortic,
Pulmonary semilunar valve.
aortic,
Aortic,
Semilunar
okay.
valve.
And the reason it's, why is it not the pulmonary?
because it's taking it from the left ventricle to the aorta.
And you know that left ventricle is oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood's going to the body via the aorta, so this can only be the aortic valve.
Where's the
Semilunar valve.
pulmonary semilunar valve?
You
There.
have to have a hole in the
Glad you
heart.
asked that.
That's what threw me.
What's he looking at?
The pulmonary semilunar valve.
Okay.
You have to have the hole
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah. And will that only be shown with the hole cut?
I'll just tell you right now, he almost never puts this on here because it's hard to get that cut like that. So if you see a semilunar valve, you can pretty much put it in the bank and see
The
it.
aortic.
Okay.
Okay.
But just in case, say we were really truly interested in this as true students rather than just people taking the test the next couple of years. Say we just wanted to learn because it's fun to learn stuff. Here, see this real flimsy little valve
So that
here?
is that's
See this little flimsy valve right here? Okay,
that's
what is this and why?
It's the
pulmonary semilunar valve.
pulmonary artery.
Because that's exactly right. Here's the pulmonary artery. It's protecting, it's the base of the pulmonary artery, and it's also coming from the right ventricle. And we know blood going from the right ventricle is going to the lungs.
lungs.
So this can only be the pulmonary semilunar valve. But this is such an unusual vision of it. He will put this aortic on there every test.
Right.
I mean, this will be on the test tomorrow or whenever you take it.
Right.
And it's always, that's the thing, if it's done right, and it usually is for the test question, it's just sitting, and it's the way it is in the real heart, it's sitting basically right beside the bicuspid, right? And so what happens is, the bicuspid is the atrioventricular. Blood runs from the atrium into the ventricle. The ventricle compresses, it closes this valve, Blood can only go one direction, so it runs up, this thing's closed, it can only go out this way. So it gets forced past the aorta. These two valves are pointing in opposite directions, okay? So as that ventricle beats, these valves are doing this. They're just the exact opposite of each other. Everybody got that?
Yes.
That's real important to know. Okay? Boy, what have we not covered?
Oh, well, it's not on our word list.
What is this right here?
Epicardium.
Epicardium, yeah.
It depends on what you're asking.
That's
what
exactly right.
The layer.
Both of you are right. This is the epicardium if I ask layer, and this is if I ask for the structure, it's the left ventricle. Okay? And remember, he'll either have, if you see a heart where you can see all this nice stuff here and there's all this blobby white stuff on both sides, that's the pericardium. Or sometimes they'll leave it attached up here and they'll just be sitting off to the side. I happen to know this particular time it's just kind of wrapped around it with a hole in it where you can definitely see this, but the pericardium is kind of sitting on both sides. Okay? And you know that's going to be on the test.